Fala galera! Eu tive a honra de entrevistar o Frank Karlitschek, CEO da NextCloud aqui no Talk Data. Para quem não conhece ainda, o NextCloud é uma das plataformas de código aberto mais bem-sucedidas, com uma comunidade muito ativa em todo o mundo. É a melhor alternativa ao Office 365, ao Google Workspace e ao Dropbox, porque dá as mesmas funcionalidades, mas que pode ser instalados aí no data center da sua empresa, num servidor dedicado ou na nuvem de um prestador de serviço que você confie. A gente falou sobre soberania digital, sobre privacidade, inteligência artificial e até sobre teoria da conspiração. Dá uma turbinada aí no seu inglês e bora lá assistir. A Unodata é parceiro oficial NextCloud aqui no Brasil e lá no final do vídeo vai ter um link para você se cadastrar e testar tudo isso 30 dias grátis. Valeu!
Hi everyone, I am here today with Frank Karlitschek, CEO and founder of NextCloud. Hello Frank, greetings from Brazil, how are you doing?
Hello, greetings from Germany. I'm very good, and you?
Good. So Frank, I'm very happy for having you here today. Thanks for attending us. And I have to say that I have watching a handful of podcasts and interviews you've participated lately. And everybody asks you, what is NextCloud? What's your goal when launching this project? And besides, I will tell people in other words what NextCloud is. You said some time ago, I don't want to live in a world where 5 companies have all files in the world. That's it. So it explains exactly what NextCloud is, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks for summarizing it. I mean, I I started it like I don't know, 14 years now ago, basically, and there you could already see that people are storing all the files in Dropbox and using all these cloud services, and it became clear that like they become like this I don't know, spider in the web, and they collect and suck up all the data and information in the world. And I think this is not a good future for no one, not for companies, not for governments, not for private people. I mean, people should have a choice between different solutions.
Yeah.
So important for from education to just privacy protecting, to have innovation with companies. So that's the mission and vision of NextCloud.
Yeah, good to know. And you mentioned government, and I have read a lot of news from Europe where Office 365 and Google Workspace has banned from schools and government institutions, right?
Yes.
It's due to concerns about privacy rules and competitions and data sovereignty. It's not a subject that I have heard here in Brazil, for example. Can you tell our Brazilian audience, Frank, a bit more about it?
Absolutely. So this is a big topic. There are so many different aspects to it. First of all, I want to say that it's not only Europe, but there are also lots of other government organizations. It's from governments in Middle America, or in India, even Japan and South Korea. There's a big movement of making sure that the data stays local and secure and independent. So there are lots of aspects to it. There's the privacy and security. I mean, we all know that there's a lot of espionage going on. Right? There's a lot of spying, and we live in a complicated world. So lots of government organizations understand they need to protect their information, their data, not only the data from their own data, but also from the citizens. And then it's also to be more independent. For example, most countries and governments, they know that that you have a strong dependency on someone else, like let's say, then this is not good for your future. For example, if all your electricity comes from a different country, this is not good, or all your water supply comes from.
That makes sense.
So that's like you have this strong dependency, and you don't know how this will be used in the future against you. But for IT, we are used to live in a world where all the IT comes from the US and from China, and I think this is not good. You need to be more independent, and this is something that NextCloud can provide.
Allow me one more question regarding to this. It's not some kind of conspiracy theory like we see in the movies, in the films and cinemas?
No, it's not a conspiracy theory. I mean, we all know that there's a lot of spying happening. I mean, this is like from Edward Snowden. This is proven, and there are lots of other examples where, just governments can spy on other governments or on citizens of other countries. And that's not conspiracy theory. And then you can, if you're government, you can then decide if you want to protect your data, just like directly give it to another country, and they can do whatever they want. This is not conspiracy theory.
Good. And we have read news in NextCloud blogs about cities who's moving to this model of digital sovereign, leaving back every Microsoft product and so on. Tell us more about this, Frank, please.
So it's not only like the big governments, also like cities and other organizations, because a lot of organizations or cities, they have their own choice and their own requirements. For example, maybe they're already working with like a local hosting center or local IT supplier, and they're happy with them, and they have contracts, and they're like, want to support each other. And then it's also nice that they can then use NextCloud to run it like locally. That's like good for the economy. It's just for the digital sovereignty, for to be independent from others, as I just said. But a lot of times it's already flexible. You know, if you have an open source which can be configured in lots of different ways, and then it's just nice if you have like your local IT supplier who's already doing your mail and all your other things, and then you can have NextCloud integrated into that. That's something that's very attractive to lots of cities and schools and universities and so on.
And we have very, very famous cities using NextCloud, like Cologne, right?
Correct,
Cologne. City of Cologne. Who else? In Switzerland, we have Zurich.
Yes. And also Paris, for example.
Good to know.
In France, So there are even like cities in the US, by the way, who are using NextCloud and are a customer of us. Because I think if you live in the US, it doesn't matter, but they all want to be like independent and protect the data and so on.
Yes.
That's something that's very, very popular.
Yes. And when you say that, for example, NextCloud is a software collaboration platform, a place where you share your files, do chatting, do video callings, etc. Your challenge as NextCloud is even harder, because you are not only saying to people, do not host your file there and there, but change your behavior, change your habits, stop using Outlook, stop using Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and users probably don't care where the company's data is located, Frank, but certainly they will complain about which software interface they will have to use. So what do you think that NextCloud can achieve this goal of convincing end users that they have to change and do not complain with IT administrators that changed the software?
Yeah, that's a very, very important point from you, because it's not enough to just like, I don't know, keep your data under control or have something open source, but then the user interface is bad, then the people will not use it.
Yeah.
Right? So it is very important that the usability and the user interface and the user experience is like not only as good as you know them from other software, but it's even better. So we at NextCloud, we work very hard to make like the user interface and the usability and the very good so that people really like it.
Yeah.
Because you cannot, if the software is not good, then they will go back to Microsoft and Google and Slack and Zoom and so on.
Yeah.
But you really want to be like really good. And so we are not only, NextCloud is not only more secure, but it's also better to use. For example, is we have this very nice integration between the different parts. So you can, between file management and talk and chat, video conferencing, calendar and email and Office, there's actually a very nice integration. And I'm really happy to say that it's even better than you find somewhere else. It's really, our people really like the software.
Yes. And your development team is doing a great job, because weekly we have updates and major releases coming. So congrats on this velocity that you have.
Yes, it's very important to stay innovative, to stay like do the things that people expect, and that's very important, because like I said, it's not enough to do like secure software, we also want to make good software.
Yes.
So we really move very fast forward.
Yeah, good to know. And also, since we are talking about innovation and evolution, in a recent post you said that AI is just someone else's computer, you know. Let me know your thoughts about AI, threats and benefits to the world, and how it can really improve NextCloud features in a very near future.
Yeah, that's a very, very hot and new topic, of course, with AI. I mean, I think we all saw how incredibly powerful and useful it can be. I mean, if you ask like ChatGPT to, I don't know, create like a document for you, or to summarize a text, or to change the style of a text or something like that, or other tools like DaLi to generate pictures and images that we can use, or Midjourney. So it can be very, very useful. The problem here is that all those AI services, again, they are basically all hosted in the US. And if you use those tools, you just send them all your data. For example, there was this story lately in the news that from Samsung, Korea. Yeah, maybe you saw it too. Where like an engineer from Samsung like used ChatGPT and copied in like confidential data to have it, I don't know, rewritten, or I have no idea. But now, all the internal data is now leaked. And then now banning like ChatGPT, because they understand and we cannot like leak all the data and send everything like to the servers of OpenAI. And that's what I wanted to say with this posting about OpenAI is just other people's computer, because you just send all your data to someone else's computer to use AI. And that's of course a bit of a challenge for NextCloud, because we want to use and provide these cool new features, but we are all about protecting the data. So we are investing a lot in AI features that can run on your server. So for example, we already have a system where you can do face recognition and image detection in your photos. That's already launched like last year. Then we are expanding that to with a new translation system. So you can translate your texts and documents between different languages on your NextCloud server. So no document is going somewhere else. No document is leaving your organization, your server, your country. So this is very secure. We're expanding this into new things, like for example, that you can do speech to text. So you can dictate in your in your computer into your NextCloud, or you maybe even have transcripts of video calls also, and everything on your computer. So we do all the AI features. We developed that in a way that it runs inside NextCloud. And you can use all the cool features and it's not going anywhere. That's our strategy. And I think this is very, very unique because, organizations can use cool tools, but it's not leaking like Samsung.
What about, Frank, this antitrust coalition movement? We have read, again, a lot of things about it. I know NextCloud is an important actor in this scenario, and this behavior, of the big techs is harming the IT industry and limiting customers' choice. And they want government to take actions and force Microsoft to allow for a level playing field.
What can you tell us about this
movement?
Yeah, this is also very interesting. So maybe to explain it a little bit, what this antitrust thing really means. Not everybody might know that.
Yeah.
It's if you have a monopoly, basically on something, you're the dominant supplier, the dominant company in something, then you're not allowed to use your power to get into a new market, to get basically expanded into more other markets. So I'll give you an example. Let's just assume there is a dominant manufacturer of cars. Let's say in Brazil, 95% of all cars are from one company.
Okay.
And then if this company then would say, okay, from now on, all our cars only drive with our own fuel. So then this would immediately put all gas stations out of business. Like all gas stations would be bankrupt, all other oil companies would be bankrupt, and then only the fuel from this car manufacturer is then allowed and possible, and then they would have put everybody out of business, and there would be then the dominant player and also not only doing all the cars but also all the fuel. But just as an imaginary example.
Yeah.
And this is the problem with antitrust. So if you're dominant, you cannot use your power to harm the competition and get even more power. But this is exactly what Microsoft is doing, because they have the most common operating system. I mean, Windows is the most common operating system in the world, and also Microsoft Office is the most dominant Office solution in the world. And they're putting their own, for example, Teams and OneDrive and all these other services, Outlook and Exchange, everything in there. So basically, if you are just want to buy a laptop with Windows, you're automatically basically more or less forced or strongly encouraged to also use Teams, because it is pre-installed, it's already there. OneDrive is already there, and a demo version of Microsoft Office is already there. And then if you want to build a competition to that, like as NextCloud, for example, does, because we also have our chat and video conferencing and Office and everything, then we are in a disadvantage. We cannot really compete with that. And that's the problem. So basically Microsoft is pushing their services, their cloud services, into everybody, into the world. And in 1 or 2 years, there will be the only one that's left there, because everybody else cannot compete. And that's the problem. And there we basically filed a complaint with the German government and also the European government to do something against that. And they are actually at the process at the moment to stopping Microsoft to do that. Which is very important, I think.
Good. So, what is the latest news about this it's a judgment. Is it a judgment, like in a legal judgment? Is it?
At the end of the day, yeah, it is a judgment, and the process is that we are talking with the people from the European Commission. They are looking into the business practices of Microsoft. There's no decision yet. The decision is not taken, but they're looking into that. And I talked with the people like a few weeks ago. I will talk again with them on Monday. So there will be, we really hope that there will be some actions, and then Microsoft is forced to also be open to other players.
Yes, and it's very, very interesting, Frank, because it's not a discussion that you started today. In 2018, at NextCloud conference, you said the goal is to create decentralized cloud. It is, of course, a bit crazy because we are challenging the big guys. You said in 2018. So how do you feel is this fight going? Is there any winner so far?
There's no winner yet. It is still ongoing. We are still the small guys, and we are still fighting with the big guys. Yeah. But of course, we're making progress. For example, NextCloud is really growing a lot. It's the functionality is really getting a lot better, as you might know, and also we're getting more and more popular. You mentioned already that it becomes really popular in Brazil. Yeah, we see that too. So we of course we don't really have exact numbers of how many servers there are on the internet, but we can estimate a little bit based on, like, for example, our update server, it's pinged and we know a little bit what's happening. And we can estimate that there is like between 500,000 and 1 million servers on the internet.
That's, you are the winner.
Some of them are...
There is a winner.
Some of them are small. Some people just have it on their Raspberry Pi at home. But some are really big, like, as I said, whole governments and cities and so on. So it's working. It's slow, but it is going forward.
Yes. It's an statement. Yes, there is a winner, and you are the winner, because I can imagine how proud you feel seeing these numbers. And whenever you look around and see the NextCloud, the size it is, dozens of people working in this project, so big community. So thanks so much for your effort fighting with the bigs. And
thanks a lot. But I want to point out that it's not only me, right? It's like we have lots of very good people in our company and doing great work, and we also have our community out there which is also helping. So it's really a big group project.
Yes. You have a great team.
Congrats on it as well. So I know that you already visited Brazil a few years ago.
Which memories
do you have? Tell us about your relationship with the Brazilian community in NextCloud and the open source community.
I like Brazil a lot. I was there already, I think, 4 times. Mm-hmm. So I really like it, and I think I've seen, I think I've seen the 2 extremes. I've been first. I don't know how to say it correctly, but I think you can say Foz do Iguaçu.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Foz do Iguaçu. Perfect.
Yeah. So this is like, there I was, of course, very impressed by the beautiful nature and how beautiful the country is. Yes. And then I also was like 2 times in Sao Paulo.
Great.
Which is of course the big city where you can see all the energy and all the young people, and everybody is so motivated and wants to build something up. And I'm just so impressed about the energy of people, and everybody is so motivated and doing something good, and I really like that. So for me, Brazil is both. It's like beautiful nature and awesome people.
Glad to know that. Not sure if you know this, but we are 20 kilometers from São Paulo downtown, in a city named São Bernardo, where Volkswagen has the biggest plant outside of Europe, you know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a legendary city for German people. And we have so many friends who works for Volkswagen and have to learn German. So they say it's very, very hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Frank, our audience here is in the majority young people who is looking to know more about IT market. They are students. And what would you say to these people? What's important today to study, to start a career in the IT business?
I don't know. I mean, first of all, I would recommend to everybody just to play with technology and learn how it works and just teach yourself new things, because there are so many interesting things going on in IT and software development, and I just like play with it. I mean, I'm also recommend that you do like study and read books and everything, but also I think just doing it, you know, just
Yes.
like playing with doing something.
Yeah, I loved the play. Yeah,
That's how you learn new things. Just to play with it, to study it and so on. And open source is of course great for that, because you can actually then see how it works and change things, and then if I do this, then this happens, and that's what I would recommend. And the other thing, the next thing I want to say is that that I think everybody should understand that everything in IT, everything in computers, everything on the internet was built by other people. And it's not nature, right? I mean, like rivers and trees and animals are nature. You cannot change them. They are what they are, right? But IT is not nature. It's done by people. And if you want to change something, you can do it, right? If you think that, I don't know, the internet should work differently, or social network should work differently, or NextCloud should work differently, or something, then you can just do it. You know, you can just like build a better version of it, and that's possible. And I want to just encourage everybody to to understand that we are in charge, and if you want to have a better cloud, better internet, then we can all do it together.
yes.
That's it, Frank.
Thanks so much.
Hey, thanks a lot, and enjoy your day, and let's talk soon again.